G'day, I'm Pete and you're watching Thrill Fabrications. Welcome back. It's been a while, but I've finally finished up making the back end of this cross member, and it's taken a fair while. As you can see, it's a pretty complex shape, and I've screwed it to the front we made a while back. So that's what today's video is going to be about, making up the back section of this piece. So I hope you enjoy. Okay, time to rip this cross member out, and I've already done a video on removing the front of this thing, showing the spot weld drill bit and the die grinder and that. So for this one, we'll just keep things moving along and do this. So they're the end of the main frame rails. Tiny little bit of corrosion down in there, just it's nothing more than a pinhole really. I'll probably just hit that with the welder. I'd like to sandblast it first, and just sort of tidy it up as much as I can, and then just do a little bit of pad welding. Nothing major there, and sort of somewhere over here a little bit of corrosion, but none of that's even gone through, so pretty salvageable and not too much work to do in the frame rails, which is great. So here we are over at the workbench. I've got the old back of that cross member removed, so time to make a new one. This is pretty mangled, so it's not even sitting down properly, but I've taken a few angle measurements and basically recreated a mold to wrap some new steel around. So this is what I've done. Yeah, so this bit here is to mimic this, and it's also wider here, you can see, and then drops down, gets narrower, and this also changes angle, so that's what this is. These are 15 degrees. I was trying to figure out how that, that's like an even gap along the top, and I was like, oh, how's that even working? But that's because there's actually an angle on this whole piece as well. So I've put that in, and that comes down to match up to the bottom of that. This here is really the only square piece, which is good because you need something simple on this bit. It is relatively complicated. So the plan is to fold up. I'm gonna fold it along this edge here, my new bit of steel, at the depth I need. Then planning to clamp it down in the middle and sort of hammer out these bits with it clamped down with a bar, I think. Like clamp that down, fold that over there, replicate that. It'll be pretty difficult, and I might have to do a relief cut, but if I have to do one relief cut through there, weld it up to get the whole thing to work, it's not a big deal. The next thing I'm going to do is fold up this lip using the bench mounted folder. Okay, let's get stuck in. So you can see when I put this fold in here, it's pulled the metal around, so I've had to straighten that edge back out again, and I'll refold it so it's actually straight. Straightened out okay though. My next piece I'm thinking of doing is, this is pretty much a straight edge through here. So what I was thinking of doing was cutting along here, maybe along to there, folding that piece, cutting down there. This will fold over, and then the piece that's left over should just push back against this, and I can weld it in. I need to fold it here now. So this is where I got up to. Formed all this with a bit of wood, cut these pieces and weld them back together, and you know, you see I've got pretty good penetration all through there, a little bit of resin from the wood, but nothing to be concerned about. The thing I've noticed though is in forming this, it's wandered away from my line by quite a bit. That's about 10 mil. So as a result of this, it's actually too tall. So that causes a problem when I connect this panel to it. So this panel is going to go like this, and you can see because it's so tall, basically this one's ended up too short, but this one is the right height. I've test fitted it on the car. So I need to shorten this down. That's what I'm going to have to do next. I'm going to have to mark a line along here, cut up here and here, straighten that lip out a wee bit, and just get that down a bit more, and then I should be able to try and bend this a little more as well. So that's the first sort of pressing done. Just use that former. Yeah, I think it seems to have done a pretty reasonable job. So that's before it's done, it's after. Those are the originals. See, that one's munted, but gives you a good idea of pretty similar. So do that one next. Got this little guy to do now. Right, I think that's all I'll do on that one. Yeah, we've got the pretty much finished product there. So probably just a little bit more fiddling, get it just how I like it, and probably actually the next thing I'll screw the two bits together so we can see what that looks like, and then maybe throw it up in the car and have a wee look. Not bad, and like I say, once I get it to sit up just that little bit more, it'll come up flush with that.
Same on both sides, looking all nice and even. Oh, it could be hanging up on that screw as well. Yeah. So, a little bit of mucking around yet to get it to actually fit all the way in, but it's actually a pretty decent piece of metal, that, so don't have to worry about it being rusty anymore. So.
So I hope you enjoyed that. Certainly a learning process for me going through, just learning how the metal moves and that. I mean, the more experience you get, I think the better you get at it. But the next video, I think I want to do a quick, easy one. A little bit faster than that one there. And what it's going to be is I just want to make up a little sandblaster to clean up any corrosion where that crossmember goes in on the main rails, and we'll cut out any corrosion, patch that up before we reinstall the crossmember. So that's what the next video will be about, making up a little, $2 sandblaster. That's the plan anyway. So keep an eye out for that one, and if it doesn't come out before the new year, have a good holiday everyone, and we'll see you next year.